Guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with me, and we are going to work with this new kit today. This is called Autumn Wonder, and it is in the Etsy store and the .com store. There's 25% off on Etsy and 30% off in the .com store. Plus, you can get it printed if you want to. Now, it's only a single-sided. Some of the digitals that we're making are, well, some of the digitals we've always made are just single-sided. If you want the backside printed, I am going to put up some just papers like this, coffee dyed papers in a little bundle, and just, you know, they'll be real inexpensive. And if you want the backside printed, then you need to purchase that bundle so that I'll know to print on the backside, okay? Because all of them don't have back-sided prints. That's just, I mean, that's the way it goes. I tell you, finding paper that goes with the front to print on the back is a little bit difficult. So I will put those up. They'll probably be up this afternoon. In the meantime, if you purchase this, like if you stop the video right now and go purchase it, and you want it printed on the back side, just put it in the notes, and then I will add the $2 or $3 to your order. I can't get it out of my mouth. To your order for that. But anyway, it's 11 pages of the digital, and then I think there's 4 pages of the ephemera. So this is the first page, and like I said, on all of mine I just printed the plain coffee dyed papers. Excuse me, my throat is still stopping up, but I feel a whole lot better. There's that one. I absolutely love that. That's just everything I like about fall. Now, I'm not a big fall person, but that right there is it. Alright, so, and then, again, I just printed on the back side. Beautiful window. I would love to be able to do my windows like that. And then there is another stack of books. That's pretty too. I love the basket of flowers. And then that one. And then this one that has some light coming in on this side, and it changes the color of the pumpkins a little bit. This one. This one. And this one. So that's the journal pages. And then you have 4 pages. 1, 2, 3. Yes, 4 pages of ephemera. You have these. You have the tags. I started to say, oh no, I put the same one there and there, but I didn't. This one is different than this one. And then some pockets. And then some side tuck pockets. So this is available now. Like I said, I'll have those background pages put up for you in a little bit. I'll try to do that while the video is uploading so that you can grab them. That way, if you want it printed on the back, you can just grab that little like $3 or $4 digital, and in your notes just put please print on the back. So alrighty, so we're going to make, and I've been trying to draw this out this morning. I was going to make you a template. I don't know if I'll get around to doing that, but I'll try to. I've just got a piece of scrap paper here, and I have folded it. Let's see what I folded it on each side, and then that'll help you a lot. I have folded it over at 3 3/4. So from here to here is 3 3/4. Okay. Now it is, and I cut some of my paper off, so it is 7 inches tall. So all the way here to here is 7 inches. So fold that over 3 1/4. And then this part that you have left, and this is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. You can adjust it to whatever paper size you have. I know some people have A4. You can adjust it anyway. On this one, all I did was folded it over a little bit, leaving some section here, okay? And I didn't fold it all the way up to the edge of that one. So this one is folded over at 3 inches. So from here to here is 3 inches, okay? So that's the folds that you would make. So let's just go ahead and grab a paper and do those folds. I think I might just use this one on the top, because I'm going to go ahead and make some ephemera, and that way I will be ready to make a fall journal, or to start making a fall journal. Now I'm guessing at it, but you can go ahead and fold it over at 3 3/4. I have no clue if that's 3 3/4. Well, yes it is, 3 3/4. And then I'm going to fold this one over just to leave about that much. And I think I said this one was 3 inches, so a little bit more. Excuse me, I may clear my throat a lot. I apologize. I know it's very irritating to hear that, but I can't help it. Now, I like this side of the paper better than I do this side, so I really should have folded it the other direction, but I'm not going to worry about it now because this is mainly for teaching purposes. Now, I don't want it this tall because that would stick out of my journal. So we're going to cut it at 7 inches, and this bottom part I can use for different things, so I'm not going to worry about that either. I don't worry about much, do you know that? I just don't worry about it. What was the shirt that we did quite a few years ago? I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just not. Okay. About right there. So that, and then we can use that little piece for a little belly band or whatever. Even though it's already folded, it doesn't matter. Now, I came down when I cut this, and I just did a sloppy job, but when I cut it, I think I came down, looks like 2 5/8, but instead of doing 8s, we're just going to come down 2 1/2. That will make it easier for everybody, won't it? 2 1/2 right there. And then from there to there, that little piece that I cut right there, I think that's about 1 inch. Yes, it is. I think I hear somebody outside already. Let's see, how did I do that? Okay, so that means from here to here, I came over 1 inch. So I'm just going to mark that with my pencil. And then I just came down, and I guessed at this, and I'm going to guess at it. I'm just going to come down at a little bit of an angle like that. Okay? So I know it's hard to see on this paper, but you'll know when I cut it what it's going to look like. So I'm just going to cut up to that, and then I'm going to cut across to that fold, and then I'm going to cut right down that fold as best I can. I cut pretty crooked right there, so we'll do that again. There we go. So you can see how it's cut this way and then that way. And then you can see a little bit of that. It's best to do these with a double-sided paper, but if you don't have double-sided, do it with whatever paper you have. Boy, my mouth's trying to go faster than my brain. Okay, I'm just going to erase that pencil mark that I've got there. All right, now on this back page, I came all the way from the corner down, and I'm just going to fold it. I'm not going to go right into my seam. I'm just going to fold it about, where is my seam there? Or seam. It's not a seam, it's a score mark. Yeah, that should work right there. So that's what you end up with. And I just folded down and didn't go very close to my, let me see if I can mark my score line, and then you can see it, which I can't see it either. So on this paper it's hard to see it. See if we can see it now. See, there's my score line, and then I just, and let me see if I can straighten this up a little bit, and I just folded that down, leaving, looks like about a quarter, little less than a quarter of an inch between my score line and the edge of this. So you don't have to measure this, just fold it down. And I'm not going to be satisfied with that fold until I get it exactly like I want it. Okay. Now you can cut this part off if you want to. I'm going to leave it on there to give it a little bit of extra strength. But you can, same way over here, you could have left that on if you wanted to. But we're going to strengthen that other side a little bit more in a minute, so we don't really have to worry about that. All right, so there we go. We've got our this side done, or almost done. It's like that, and then this one will come over like this. Now the first thing that I'm going to do while I'm thinking, because I'm thinking about what I'm supposed to do next, I'm going to go ahead and put some ink on these edges, especially the ones that I cut, just so that they'll look more finished and not like, oh, she just whacked that off. Just helps the looks of it, I think. But now some people don't like to ink, and that's definitely up to the person. Okay, let's put some down through here. Okay, I think we got everything inked that's going to show. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to round this little corner right here because it's real pointy and I don't like that. So I'm going to grab my corner rounder. And our corner rounders are still on back order. Everything's on back order right now. Now I'm just using the smallest one to round it a little bit. And that just keeps it from looking so pointy. I don't like that pointy look there. Okay, so that's what we have so far. And now what I want to do is I want to put another little layer right up through here. And I want it to come like from here all the way up to that point. And that's going to be another pocket. So I'm going to have to get another piece of paper. Let's see. Let me grab another piece. Don't really know what I want to use, but we'll grab something. Just trying to look for something that would stand out a little bit extra. I think this one would stand out really good. Now, cutting this one. I was thinking about cutting it before I came on, and I thought, okay, how are you going to cut that, Edith? I think I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to lay it on my paper about where I want this to show. So, and I know I can print these again. I'm messing up a piece of paper, but that's fine. I don't have any fall paper that is available to me right now, so we're going to use this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay it down. I'm going to leave a little bit at the bottom just because I want more of these flowers. And then I'm going to mark a little mark right here. And then I am going to mark, I'm going to come down about an inch, and I'm going to mark a mark right there. So from here to here, I came down about an inch. Like I said, it's not, you don't have to get it real exact. And I hope I can see my marks from here. And then I'm just going to lay that down and just draw me a little line like that. And then we'll cut off from here down. And I should have really marked that, but I didn't. So we're just going to do it like this. This ruler's got some good guidelines on it, so we're going to use that. Alright, now I just need to know how wide I want to make it. So I'm going to mark right here where I folded that over, not where the score line is over here, or not where the this is, but where I folded this. So right there, I'm going to mark it right there. That's how wide I want it. And now I'm going to try my best to use my trimmer to do some of this so that I won't get it all whopper jawed. Okay, that's still a good piece of paper right there. And then this one, I think I can see my line, I believe. That's about right there. Oops, not enough. Not enough, Edith. There we go. And then we'll cut this down here. Okay. And then I'm just going to cut off. And I hope I did this without doing it backwards. Oh, I did it backwards. Look at that. See? I should have folded, I should have marked on the back side. So that's what I got, but that's okay. This is for teaching purposes right now. I'll fix another one in a minute. Okay, I cut it a little bit too narrow, so you need to make sure that you cut it wide enough. Let's see what we got here. Oh, no, that wouldn't work. Okay, I'm going to put this back and I'm going to save it for another little pocket. And we're going to try that again. We're going to mark it on the back side this time. I know. I told you, this is just making straight up out of my head. And sometimes my head don't work too well. I'm just going to go, let's see what's at the top. Yeah, I'm going to go all the way to the top. So make sure that you mark it on the back side and not the front side. Yep. Okay. Now I know I'm going to cut to that corner, so I'm just going to mark from there down to here about an inch right there. And then I'm going to draw me a little line on down through here and then across here. See if we can make this right this time. No promises. No promises. I mean, if the worst, I've just messed up a piece of paper and I can reprint it. Okay. Now we're going to go straight to this corner, and I may go crooked, but that's okay. If I do, we'll fix it. All right, so that's going to go right there, and that's going to go right there. That worked. Okay. So flip your paper over. Learn by my mistakes. Flip your paper over. Okay. All right, so I've got a little bit wide right here. So what I'm going to do is, what kind of mess up did I do right there? I got a pencil mark there. I'm going to glue it down, and then I'll trim off this little extra area right here. So I'm going to put some glue down through here across the bottom, and then I'll trim this before I put glue on that side. I know I'm probably totally confusing you, but we'll try to do it again, and I'll try to get a little template put up for you. If I have enough time, I'll definitely do that for you guys, because you guys are so sweet to me. Sweet. Okay, now let's do that. So I'm just going to trim it right down through here. So you can do a lot better at your trimming than I do. You can do a lot of measuring. You know me, I'm just right off the cuff. What you see is what you get. Okay, there we go. Now we've got a pocket up here and we've got a pocket there, and then I want to put a little bitty pocket down here, and I'm just going to use some of these scraps. Let's see, I think I want to use, if this is, yeah, that's going to be plenty wide enough. I'm going to cut this little bottom part off. And I'm going to cut it a little bit big because I'm going to fold over. Yeah, I'm going to fold over a little bit of this top just to give it a little bit extra strength, so that when you start putting things in and out of there, you won't have problems with it tearing or anything. And of course, I can't fold straight. Crooked as dog's hind leg. All right, and then we're just going to, I do have a punch somewhere under everything. We're going to try to punch this somewhere, somewhat in the center. And I don't know, it seems like I'm out of those punches too. I don't know if I am or not. I'll have to look at inventory. All my helpers is gone this week, so Nene is running her legs off. There we go. We're going to put that right there. I know that's hard to see. I may ink it up a little bit more, just to give it a little bit more depth there. That way it should stand out a little more. Yep, it does. So we're going to glue this down the side, across the bottom, and then down this side. And then I'm just going to put it flush with this edge over here, flush with the bottom, and it'll be a little bit short right here, but that's okay. That's what I wanted. I didn't want it to go all the way out. Okay, so we have a pocket here, and a pocket here. Now these, I'm not going to cut, pulls in them because they're slanted. And then back here, we're going to put a little pocket down here too. Let's see. And I may, you know what? I may just do that right there. I like that. We'll just have a little side tuck pocket, and I'll use up this scrap piece. If I don't get a template, I may just try to draw it out and put it over on the blog. That way you can just look at it and tell what's going on. Because I don't know if it takes me a while to make templates. They're not just as easy as drawing something out. But if I don't get time to do a template, I'll just put it over on the blog where you can go over there and grab it. All right, and then on this side you have a pocket here and a pocket here, and you could have put another pocket in there if you want, but I don't want that many pockets. This is going to hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tags anyway. That's plenty. And if you glued it down just on the sides and the bottom, you could have another place at the top. All right, let's fold one. You want to fold one again? You want to fold another one? I don't know. We might. It's let's see. Let's use this one. And on this time, I'm going to see which one I want on the front. I'm just having a hard time. I think I'm going to fold this one this way. So I'm going to fold that all the way over like that. And that's about 3.5 or 3 3/4 right there. Yep, 3 3/4. And then this one, we're just going to fold to about right there. Just leaving a little bit of room here. That's about 1.5 inches maybe. Now, you do not have to cut these off at the bottom if you don't want to. You could always clip them on your page. Let's say this is your page and you wanted to just clip it on. You could do that and just clip it on your page. If you want to put them in a pocket or something, you probably would need to trim it off a little bit. I think on this one, I'm just going to leave it. I'm not going to trim it off, and we're going to see what we get. So, now, you can also, to make it easier on yourself if you want to, you can also just fold this down and not worry about, coming over a little bit. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. It doesn't really, really matter. So, what am I going to do on this one? And you could also do it this way, too. Okay, I'm going to trim down just a little bit, and then I'll figure out what I want to do. Maybe. And then again, maybe not. Okay. So I've got it trimmed down to about right there. Let's see what we're going to do. First off, we're going to trim this a little bit straighter. You can use a ruler and mark this and trim it exact if you want to. If I was using smaller scissors, I could probably do a much better job. Okay. So that's about right. See, that's another option. You could leave it like that if you wanted to, just straight across. But I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fold this like this just to kind of give you an idea of the different ways that you can do this and kind of strengthen your page. So I'm going to fold it about right there, I think. I might want to fold it a little bit more. Not much, but a little bit. Fold it about right there. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. So we came across and folded that down right there, and that's about 1.5 inches from the top, and I just folded it down, and then I folded this just leaving about 1 inch maybe from here to here. You can judge it and fold it like you want. Now you can cut all of this off so it won't have any bulk, or you could leave it on there. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to trim mine just because, or at least I'm going to trim this one just because my paper is thick, because I print on 28 pound, and so my paper is thicker and I don't need that extra bulk, so I'm just going to trim mine off just like that. So there we go. Got across here and down through here. And now we can go and see that turned out much faster, didn't it? Because I actually had done one. Even though I had done that one on the scrap paper, I still was a little bit confused. Okay, so we have that. I love this edge right here. And then on this one, again, you can fold it down just like we did that other one. Right here is my score line. So I'm just going to come to about over less than 1/4 inch from my score line and fold that down. And that's going to be just like that. And see, that gives you that nice crisscross. This one I am going to leave on there. You could trim it off and use it somewhere else if you wanted, but I'm just going to leave it on. Just give it a little bit of extra strength. Okay. There we go. We're going to add a little ink to that. And I'm going to add a little ink down through here. I'm going to round this corner again. Just don't like those pointy edges. They usually end up getting bent or something anyway, so. Okay, there we go. And look how pretty. I love that. This is one of my favorite kits. Of course, I say that every time I make one. It's one of my favorite kits. Okay, now we didn't have any scrap left out of this, so we're going to need another paper if we're going to put a pocket. Whoops, wrong way. If we're going to put another little pocket here, we need another paper, but I don't know if I am. Simply because I love this so much, I don't want to cover any of it up. Oh, I forgot to even show you how to glue this together, didn't I? Now you can leave it unglued if you want. I'm going to glue mine together just so things don't fall out. But you can leave it to where it can be opened and it can actually be journaled on. I'm going to glue it right across the bottom. I'm not going to glue up through here. I'm going to leave that open so that you can use fatter tags on it. And all I did was glue across the bottom. Now you could glue up through here. You can do all kinds of gluing, but I just glued across the bottom so that things don't fold out. So on this one, like I said, I really don't want to cover any of that up. And I might leave this one open. You could still put a tag in it, down in here, and then clip it on a page, and that tag would stay put. And then you could also open it up and do all of your journaling in here. And I might just do that on this one. So that's what we've got there. And then I would just, when I started to put it on my page, I would just put it on there on the edge, and I'd put my tag in there and then clip it on, and then your tag is going to stay put. Now this one will pop up a little bit until it gets kind of trained to lay down, but once your journal lays on it for a little while, it'll be fine. And if you use your bone folder on there, it's going to lay down anyway. So that's what I'm going to do to that one. I'm not even going to attach it anymore. I love that. Now, I wanted to show you one more thing that I'm going to do, and I'm doing this for my journals, and I'm not going to make tags for these because you guys know how to make tags. You can make tags with your eyes closed. I know you can. So, I'm not going to make tags for it right now, but I'm going to show you one other thing that I need to make because I'm out, and they're real quick, easy to make, and I need some, so I thought, well, we'll just go ahead and make a few while we're on the video, since I didn't think that was going to take too long. Of course, it took a little longer than I thought, but, well, let's see. I thought I had printed them all where I didn't have to tear that back off, but maybe not. Or maybe I thought I had already tear. I've got some that I've already torn the back off, so we're going to use those just so I don't have to go through and tear the backs again while you're on here with me. Okay, so I'll put these back. And this is out of our digital French letters, I think, or French documents. I think's what this is out of. Okay, so this is no glue. You don't have to have any glue at all. You start with your letter, document, whatever you've got, or a piece of scrapbook paper. It don't matter. It don't matter. And then you're going to fold this over till it comes even with that point right there. So fold that over. Fold that down. And then you're going to take this part right here, and you're going to fold that over until it meets right there. And I like to press everything out because it makes it easier in the end. Okay, you've got those two folds. This one over here, and then that one to meet the edge. And I need to trim that little bit of white off right there, but I'll do that later. Then you're going to flip it over, and see mine is a little bit off, and that's that white part, so let me trim it right now. I was going to wait and do it later, but I think it'll help my process if I do it right now. Okay, so we got that. Now you're flipping it over, and you're going to fold up twice. And you just kind of guess at it. It's not a rocket science. It doesn't have to be exact. Just fold it up 2 times, like that. Okay? And then, again, I'm going to kind of press my score lines pretty good. And then this part right here, you're going to fold that down. I'm going to go ahead and press it. And then you're going to take it and tuck it in, part of it in, right there, even with that little line going across there. You're not going to tuck it all in. You're just going to tuck part of it in. And then you've got this little tail hanging out. So when you want to open it, or when they want to open it, whoever gets it, all they have to do is pull that little tail and can open it up. Okay? So let's try that one more time. So I just folded that there. So let's do another. And these have been out there all over the internet, so I know that, or all over the YouTube. So I know you've probably seen them before, but I like doing these and then putting these documents in my journals that I make and sell, because it just adds a little bit extra to the journal. And then take this one. Looks like Robert F. Kennedy. It's not. Take this one and fold it over here. Get it even with the bottom, and then even with the side right there. And then you're going to press your score line. Okay. Then you're going to flip it over, and this is going to fold up like that. And then this one is going to fold up like that. And I'm folding, I'll just give you a little estimate of what I'm folding up. I'm folding up about 2.5 inches. Mine's 11 inches tall, so, but it doesn't have to be exact. And then I go ahead and fold this one over and just score it so that it'll hold while I do this. And then you're just going to lift up that little piece right there, and you're going to press this under. And when you press it under, you'll feel where that little line goes across there. And you're just going to make sure that you're right at the edge of that line. And then again, just press it down. Leave your little tail hanging out there. Okay. There we go. Got another. And these tuck really easy into the pockets, and they add a lot to your journals. I'm going to do one more, and then I know you guys got it. 11 inches, 8.5 inches. I always make sure I've got my top at the top. It helps to have your top at the top. And I just kind of grab that little corner, lay that over, fold it. Go ahead and press it down with your bone folder. And then I kind of hold this and bring this one over. It helps to keep it from bunching up under there. And then I fold this one over, getting it even with the bottom and even on the side. As even as you can. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay? Then you flip it over. Don't fold on this side. You got to flip it over. Fold up. And again, about 2.5 inches, and then about 2.5 inches again. Just make sure that the sides are even when you fold up. Okay, you've got that. And then you're going to fold this one over till it meets the edge of that. You'll feel it. And then I go ahead and press it down to give it that good press. And then I lift that up just a little bit, and I start tucking this under. And I have to do it all with one hand. I can't do it with two hands. I mess up. I do it with two hands. Okay, there we go. All right, so there you go. 3, easy and quick, and they're approximately the same size. So I guessed at it and still got them pretty good. All right, guys, that is the video for today. I hope you enjoyed. It's just some new little embellishments, and I say new on my channel for a while. I've done them a long time ago, but I hadn't done them in a while. And then you can embellish these up if you want. You can put a little clip on them, or embellish this side. Do whatever you would like. You've also got a little place here you could tuck a little something in. I mean, there's all kinds of possibilities on these, or you could just leave them plain like they are. I usually ink them up because I like when they open them up, they look more like a vintage letter if the edges are inked where they were folded, but that's up to you. Okay, we will talk to you guys later, and we will see you again soon. Bye-bye.